God bless football, Billy Gill.
God bless football, Mikey A.
God bless football, Stugotz.
What a weekend it was, college and the NFL. I can't see Mikey A, by the way. I'm just telling Mike Fuentes live on air here because it's early. We're all tired. I'm cranky. I'm tired from football. I'm just letting you know.
I just don't think the monitor's on.
Oh, okay.
I'll get it next segment.
It's early, like I said.
Well, it's 5 in the afternoon.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right.
It's early. By early, I meant early evening.
Yeah,
that's what
it was a long morning.
Yeah.
It was a long morning.
Yeah. Big weekend. Bad weekend for some of the guys on this show. College football, we'll start right there. We'll get to Lucy. She'll join us. She was at Texas and Oklahoma. But Chris Sims had to sit around and watch Texas lose a big game. And then later on that day, Golick was sitting around and watching Notre Dame lose a big game and effectively putting Notre Dame out of the playoff conversation. But Billy,
Yeah.
I heard this morning on my drive in, I was listening to a program on ESPN Radio,
Okay.
their new morning show. And they were talking about the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. And they were breaking down the Dolphins' wins and saying they think the Dolphins are pretty good, but they're not impressed with the Dolphins' victories, meaning the teams they have beaten. One of those teams is the LA Chargers. The other teams, the Jets, the Giants, and the Broncos.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Dolphins didn't play the Jets.
They have not played the Jets.
Oh, they haven't
yet.
played the Jets.
No.
Who was the other victory, Mike?
The Patriots.
Oh, the Patriots. Even worse.
Patriots.
I can't believe I'm saying this.
Oh, that's so good to say. Say that again.
Yeah, and listen, Bill Belichick, for the first time in his career, with Cleveland or with the Patriots, as a head coach, trailed by 30 points at home. It's over for Belichick.
It's over for Belichick.
Over!
Well, yesterday was his second worst loss ever, and it was a week after his worst loss ever. So it's been a bad month for Bill Belichick. 34-point loss at home, 35-point loss the week before. Hasn't been good for Bill Belichick.
No, it hasn't.
You think he's done?
I think what you're seeing right now is, I know Bill Belichick's a great coach. Mm-hmm. I know he's probably the greatest coach. Well, okay.
Do you know that? Because I feel like a week or two ago you were saying that he should wait 10 extra years to get into the Hall of Fame.
That's fair. I know he's one of the greatest coaches in NFL history simply because he's won 7 Super Bowls, okay? Or 6 Super Bowls, excuse me.
Yeah. But
it is clear and obvious that even at that level, where you're Bill Belichick, you're only as good as your quarterback. Like, I'm sorry, Andy Reid did not win a Super Bowl until he got Patrick Mahomes. And then he became one of the guys that we talk about as one of the great coaches of all time. Sean Payton, who's a laughing stock today. People are laughing at him. He was great when he had Drew Brees. Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers.
Did Robert Saleh actually tell him stay humble when they shook hands yesterday?
Oh, I have no idea. Did he say that?
I saw that was what was said, was going around, is that when he went and shook his hand, he told him to stay humble.
You told Sean Payton that?
Yeah.
Really?
If that's true, it's a low point. If not, it's Twitter just making stuff up.
I feel like that's Twitter making stuff up.
It's a low point for Sean Payton, you're saying?
Yeah, well...
I mean, he has a Super Bowl. Saleh does not. It's a weird thing to say.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, okay, but what has he done without Drew Brees?
True.
You know?
Yeah.
What has Saleh ever done?
By the way, Russell Wilson, it's funny because that team is so bad and so dreadful. I think Russell Wilson, if you check it, has 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, is on pace for like 45 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Comeback year.
It's crazy. Comeback player of the year.
I just looked it up and listened to it. He totally told him stay humble.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
He said it. Said it at the handshake after the game.
Which is incredible.
Put that on the poll.
Why? Because he was talking to Nathaniel Hackett? Like, who cares?
Oh, yesterday was like the big Nathaniel Hackett revenge tour.
It was, yeah.
Like all of the Jets were just doing it for Hackett, which is weird. You should be trying to win the game anyways.
Did you see they made him a captain?
I did see that.
They made Nathaniel Hackett a captain.
I did see that, which is incredible.
The team lost it. They loved it.
So funny.
With this one for Hack.
Brees Hall's good, huh?
Yeah. Sauce Gardner tweeted after the game, Jets country, let's ride.
Yeah.
So great. Jets are 2-3. They could very easily be 3-2. Probably should be 3-2. But how do you feel, Billy, to my earlier question, that we're sitting here again, the Dolphins with an impressive win, and I'll get to my 3 best wins and 3 worst losses of the weekend.
Wow.
Little new segment here. How about that?
Look at us. How lucky are we?
Not that lucky. We're sitting here doing a show early
Yeah.
in the evening.
It's an early evening.
Yes,
Yeah.
an early evening.
How do you feel about the time changes coming up in a couple weeks?
I hate time changes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
You like them?
I don't know. I mean, I don't hate them. I don't think I've given it that much thought, which is weird because I asked you the question. But it was more so like the day is going to be shorter now in terms of like sunlight, right? It's going to get darker earlier.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
I don't like it.
Okay, you like the sun out longer, guy?
I just want it to be the same time, you know?
Yeah, but I'm a hot take guy in Florida, and especially in South Florida. Sun going away sooner, not a bad thing. It's too hot.
Really?
Yeah,
It
like it
was-
darker earlier.
It was really hot this week.
Yeah, but the sun it was. It's been hot. Like it usually cools down by now, and it hasn't yet. But I like the sun staying out longer because it allows me to play golf longer.
Yeah, the other day you sent like on Thursday a text like, "Hey, we're doing this thing on Friday. I just got home from golfing and it was 8:30 at night. It was like a really late golf game that you had."
Yeah. I play right up until the last drip of sunlight. You know.
Okay.
Got to get them all in, Billy.
Yeah.
Somehow 18 turned into to 27. That's all I could tell you. 18 holes.
Got it. No, 27.
Played an extra 9.
No,
yes.
yeah.
What are you looking at with all these papers
I have
here?
notes. I take notes every day before we do Gabos football. It's been like stats, stuff about the game, stuff like that. You know,
Okay.
I have the latest rankings for college football. If you want to get to that one,
Do you
Lucy's on
really?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I know who everyone's playing this week. Lots of stuff going on. Only like 2 good games in college football this week, but we'll get to that with Lucy.
This past weekend or coming up this weekend?
No, coming up this weekend. Not a great weekend.
Yeah, but you have the Oregon and you have Oregon taking on Washington. That's the big game of the weekend.
Yeah.
De
And then-
facto playoff game. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have Notre Dame playing USC, which is an okay game, I guess.
Well, it's a big game for USC. All these games are, and USC had a big scare against Arizona this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, won that game in triple overtime.
Did you see Will Ferrell was a DJ at his son's frat?
Fantastic, amazing. I loved it.
Really?
Yeah,
He showed up to DJ at his
He
son's
showed
frat.
up at his son's frat house, and he was DJing before the game. So like, it's a frat party, and it was like a strange venue where it was like multi levels, like 2 or 3 levels, and it's just like full of all these like drunk college kids, and I'm sure all of them were 21 and they were drinking legally.
His son goes to USC.
Presumably, that's
Right.
why he was at this house.
So it's
supposedly.
parents' weekend, probably, because a lot of universities have parents' weekend. They wrap it around a football
He
game.
was the only parent there. Like he was by far the only parent that was there. It's not. It's USC. He lives there. Like it
Right.
doesn't have to be parents' weekend. He just wanted to be there, and he was DJing. And also, I don't want to be critical. Looked like a bunch of nerds.
Really?
This had to have been the nerd frat.
Really?
I'm telling you. If you see the video, a bunch of nerds. I could fight all those guys.
Well, why do you say that? Like, what'd you see in the video that would say
A bunch of nerds. I saw a bunch of nerds. That's what I saw.
I'm looking for nerd characteristics, though. Like, what were they doing?
You know,
They were
I don't want to. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to criticize these kids. But
All right.
I feel
Parents'
like
weekend-
I feel like I could beat them up if I had to. I don't know
Parents'
why.
weekend is a
Fighting
bit
kids.
unseemly. You know, it just is.
You
Like-
love Parents Weekend. You go every year to Parents Weekend.
No, I listen. I know I do, but I go to these darties with my daughter, and they end up doing shots, and I'm hammered by like noon, and I'm hanging around with a bunch of college kids.
I don't
It's
know.
unseemly. I'm telling you. And then I start DJing. I mean,
You no. I'm over the London games.
I'm not.
Really?
I love it. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I love
Keep
it.
them coming.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You wake up, coffee in the morning.
yeah.
Nah.
You get some
I can't.
eggies going on, some bakey.
I got to be honest. I'm with Billy on this.
Nah.
You know what? I know from 1 o'clock until about midnight, I'll be sitting on my couch. I don't need to do it from 9:30 till midnight. I'm serious. I need to get stuff done in the morning. That's what Sunday mornings are all about, getting stuff done.
That's true. That's true.
I'm
Thank
up
you.
anyway, but let's space them out a little bit. Back-to-back weeks, and then it goes away for a while. Like, let's space these out too much because you forget that it just happened last week, and we come off of the high of the Toy Story broadcast.
Yeah.
And then we go this week, and we don't have a Toy Story broadcast. We just have a guy that's painted face to toe like a jaguar.
Now, I'll tell you, you're happy because the Bills lost yesterday, but that was unfair to Buffalo because Jacksonville, that's their home stadium.
Oh, it is. They
Yeah.
stayed there for a week too.
I know
They didn't have to
stayed-
go anywhere.
Right. And Buffalo flew in on Friday. Jacksonville had already been there for 2 weeks. Buffalo flies in on Friday. They're dealing with a time change and all that. And Jacksonville
That's
gets
a rookie mistake.
That's
Yeah,
terrible
should've-
planning
should've-
They're flying in
earlier.
Friday. That's
Yeah.
a rookie mistake.
Should have flew in earlier.
on them.
Really? Really? What's the exact day they should have flown in, Mikey A? I mean,
I go Wednesday.
Yeah, I'd
I
go Wednesday too.
You fly in.
really?
Come in off the off day,
Let yourself-
just spend
yeah.
the time in London,
Right.
and then you get acclimated by Sunday.
Okay. All right.
Travis Etienne had a game.
He had a game. He's on my fantasy team.
Did you see that he was upset afterwards because he was playing against himself in fantasy, so he cost himself this week in fantasy because he had too good of a game?
He could have taken a knee at the 1 yard line, ran some clock. The game would have been over regardless. I was happy. I have Travis on my fantasy team, so I was good.
What's going on with Stefan Diggs?
Why?
Because he had like another like mini meltdown on the sideline where he was upset and he was throwing like the
Passionate guy.
not an iPad.
He's a passionate guy, yeah.
Yeah, I love Stefan Diggs. I mean, he had a good game.
I do too, but like I don't understand why he seems so unhappy with having Josh Allen be his quarterback. Wherever he goes, it's probably not going to be better than that.
Right. Well, it's hard to get better than that.
That's what I'm
Unless
saying.
he goes to Kansas City. I mean,
Or Miami.
or Minnesota.
Well,
He's having a season.
he's
Or Houston.
don't let the record fool
Oh,
you.
wow. Houston. Stroud's good. That was a tough loss, though.
That
Ritter saved his job.
This-
I gotta say though, I think Stroud, young Stroud
It's
or
over.
Richardson is over.
It's
Yeah,
over.
I think it's over.
It's 100% over.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
over.
Well, I mean, Richardson won't listen to Jared Goff. Was it Jared Goff?
Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, Lawrence,
Yeah.
right? He keeps telling him, stop running.
Yeah.
He told him once.
Well, that was a designed run.
Yes.
Well,
But
That was one of my big wins.
yikes.
One of my 3 big wins from the weekend. Jacksonville over Buffalo.
Jonathan Taylor's the big win of the weekend.
He is, but I hope the ink is dry. I mean,
For the Colts' sake, I hope it's not because Zach Moss, a player.
I know.
Yeah. Oh,
You think Jim Irsay was saying to himself, I cannot believe I just gave this guy $15 million guarantee where I have Zach Moss who can do the same
And
thing?
this other guy for free. You know?
yeah. It's weird. It's a whole thing.
So how about the Dolphins? You got to respond to my
What was your question about the Dolphins?
ESPN morning show questioning their wins and their record and just how good they are.
I mean, I like it. They play Carolina next, right?
Yeah, they're 5-1 already.
Then Philadelphia, and that'll be a test.
That's the litmus
Because
test,
you kind of
yes.
been saying that Philadelphia's been what, like zombies just walking through. They
Yeah,
don't care.
5-0 ho hum. You know.
Is the tush push like the most unstoppable play in football right now?
Yes,
only
it
when
is.
the Eagles do it.
Yes, yes.
Well, I mean, when the Giants did it, they said they didn't even practice the play, which is like, why are you? We did it. We watched video on how to do it. Like, what are you talking about?
our boy Brian Dable, he's in big trouble. Hot seat. We'll get to Lucy here in just a second. Billy's Big Board Bets brought to you by blank. Is it
Billy's
sponsored
Bets
yet?
Big Board brought to
Sorry,
you by blank. Yeah.
Billy is real. I'm telling you right now, he is working hard to find you guys winners today.
That's right.
Okay, he is. I'll get to Fuentes in a second. What were you going to say?
I was going to say I've had people individually reach out to me and ask to sponsor the segment and offer me money to sponsor the segment.
Right.
I don't know the rules on that. I don't think I can just take money from someone who wants to be a sponsor of this segment.
That's payola, I believe. So
Yeah, but we're not on radio anymore, so.
I'd take it. I mean,
Well, I know, but I don't usually make decisions based on what you would do.
you should do the opposite.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. Fuentes, why are you railing the entire break on Matthew McConaughey?
I'm not railing.
No. You were railing
No,
on
I-
Matthew McConaughey.
Yelling.
I don't know. That's a good
It's just enough. You know, it's enough. We get it. You're a Texas fan.
Right.
You know, we get it.
Yeah.
So just sell me a Lincoln and be quiet. You know, I'm done with this.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're done with him. Someone
Yeah,
asked me.
just done with it.
Someone asked me over the weekend. It was a good question. If you could only choose one, cool or crazy, Matthew McConaughey. I didn't have an answer. Got to be honest with you. A little bit of both, I feel like.
Lucy's here.
Hey, Lucy.
Hey,
Lucy was next to Matthew McConaughey, weren't you? Or no? You didn't see him? You were
I
at the
didn't
game.
see him.
No?
I was on the field and
Terrible introduction.
for the Texas Oklahoma game, which was awesome, and security was surprisingly super lax. So
Really?
I was basically on the field. I probably could have run on the field at any point. Didn't do it. I looked for him. I didn't see him. I saw Baker Mayfield and I saw Trey Young, and I got to see Bevo and the horses, which I thought were cooler than Matthew McConaughey.
Right.
Bevo's sick. That cow probably drugged up, but very sick.
Oh.
Did you have fun? How was the Texas State Fair?
The Texas State Fair was cool. The listeners of this show wanted me to eat a ton of fried food. So that's actually why I'm not in today. I feel like crap and have felt like crap for 2 days.
Okay.
But the State Fair was super cool. It was a game atmosphere I've never, been a part of or seen before. And it was far away the coolest game I've ever been to, the coolest atmosphere I've ever seen. Going to this game sort of changed my opinion a little bit. If anyone would have asked me what the best rivalry in college football was, I would have gone Michigan, Ohio State, maybe even Auburn, Alabama. But this has shot up my list after seeing this game and this atmosphere.
What's the wildest thing you ate while you were there?
Yeah.
Fried butter.
Oh.
Fried butter.
Just fried butter.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. It wasn't bad.
Right.
It was like dough and there was cinnamon sugar on top, and then there was just clearly like a bunch of melted butter in there. It wasn't. I didn't feel great after.
Can you run through the list of fried things you ate at the Texas State Fair? Because I love a good state fair. State fairs are great.
I used to go to the fair when I was little, but I had never like really done fair food. So checked that box. So I started off with a corn dog at 8 a.m. And then I did pizza, fried pickle pizza, fried fireball shot, turkey leg, fried Oreos, fried butter, and I got a fun little drink.
And you're feeling
bad.
how? Yeah, bad. That's Mikey.
Feeling.
That sounds like breakfast for me.
It sounds like heaven for you. Your heaven is the.
Could you imagine if I didn't show up just because I ate a bunch of fried food? I'd never be here.
Wait, so Lucy, is this prisoner of the moment because that's the big game that you went to, and it just so happens? Was that the first time you've been to that game? Yes.
The first time I've ever been to that game, and it's just it was so cool when you were walking down the sideline and you could cross the 50-yard line.
Yes.
And you knew the exact point where the stadium split in half. It was one of the coolest atmospheres I've ever been to. I thought the state fair was really sick, but honestly, I don't even think that's what made it super cool. It was just straight up the setup of that game. It was so loud. Everyone was so passionate. It was so cool. I cried because it was so cool.
Really? You cried. How do you feel about that?
I cried. I didn't mean to cry, but I was like walking on the field before the game started, and everybody was like doing their little chants, and it was just such a cool moment that it made me cry.
Didn't you cry in Gainesville also?
Yeah, a little. I cry a lot, so it doesn't mean that much, but I do think it still means something.
But why do you go to college football games and cry? They mean that much to you?
It's just so cool. I don't know. It's something about it's like the cute little sense of community. Like everybody's all there together rooting for their team. It's just so special.
I like that.
What, that she cries?
I like that she cares
so much that she cries?
Just that she's able to care at all. I'm envious of it.
But is it grateful that you get to do this for a living? You're getting paid to go to these games, I hope.
That's definitely part of it. That's a big part of it. It makes it so cool to be like on the field and getting paid. And sometimes I wonder why you guys pay me just to, drink at a tailgate, but who cares? Let me do it. It's such a cool, I don't think that there are, many atmospheres like a college football game, especially in a state like Texas, where it's just so many people who care so much. It was so cool. And it made me cry. But just for a little bit. I didn't cry during the game. I didn't cry after the game, just before it.
Has football ever made you cry, Billy? I would say mine are gambling reasons. I don't think
I've cried because of football. I think the happiest I was when FIU beat UM, which was incredible. But I don't think I cried that day.
The Dolphins made Hootie cry.
That's okay.
Dolphins made me cry.
No, I know. Yeah. Hootie and the Blowfish.
It's a great song, Billy.
It is a great song.
It's a song.
I love Hootie and the Blowfish.
You don't. You just are saying
You're
that
wrong.
because
I do. Don't tell me what I like.
Okay,
Don't tell me what
name
music
three
I like.
Hootie and the Blowfish
I
songs.
only want to be with you. That's one.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the names of the other ones, but I love that album. Now, Lucy has one. Let Her Cry, of course. Yep. Lucy.
There's I'll Come Running.
Yeah. There you go. There's three.
Time.
There we go. We got it.
There's
right?
four. Why are you looking at me?
Sure
like
showed
that?
you, Billy.
Yeah.
Take that. And
We
smoke
did
it.
it, not you.
Put that in your pipe, buddy.
Put that in your pipe. It's ridiculous. So the game was such a great game, and you had stakes attached to this game because both teams were undefeated coming in. Texas loses the game. I had some serious issues with the play calling from Steve Sarkisian. How'd you feel about the game in totality?
I thought the game was absolutely amazing.
Right.
I think my biggest takeaway from it, I left not I went into that game knowing that Oklahoma had played better, knowing that Oklahoma's defense was, vastly improved from last year. Had no idea how good they were. I thought their defense was so dominant. I thought their line played really well. Oklahoma just seemed more complete. Texas, a couple crucial errors, but it was one of those games where it felt so evenly matched. Oklahoma just had a few more moments that played out in their favor, but they're two phenomenal teams. I didn't leave that game thinking Texas was bad or anything like that, but I severely underestimated Oklahoma, and they have a serious shot at making the playoff with that victory.
How'd you feel about on that final drive? I don't get why coaches do this. They're moving so quickly, and they could have run so much clock off, and they left Oklahoma so much time to come back and do what they eventually did, which was score and win the game.
I thought that was far and away the most crucial error from Texas.
Yes.
There was no reason that it needed to be that quick. In Oklahoma, Oklahoma had faith in their defense. They didn't stop them, but that offense was moving fine throughout the entire game. Texas defense did not look nearly as good as we've seen them earlier in the season. So it didn't make any sense to me why Texas wouldn't just slow it down a little bit. They had all the time to do so. That ended up being what cost them the game, but I think that's what it came down to. But at the end of the day, I'm happy that's what it came down to because it was so exciting. It was so fun. And I love the way it ended. I really didn't care who won. I just switched hats every time. Stugotz, I thought of you when I did that.
Thank you.
It was really a fun experience. And so I wish that if Texas wanted to win, they just needed to be better at managing the clock, and they didn't do that. And they turned the ball over more than they normally do.
Why are you laughing?
She's got a sweet gig. I like that every time she goes to a game, she buys hats for both teams. I'm sure she's expensing all of these hats.
And she cries.
Dan's buying those hats.
Yeah, just a collection of memorabilia.
Damn right
food.
he is.
It's just incredible.
It's been really fun. I can't wait for him to see the expense report. He's going to hate me.
Where are you going this week? Are you going somewhere this week? Do you know already or no?
Yes. So we're actually going to two events this week. Ooh. First, we're going to go to Colorado on Friday night for their game against Stanford. Not a particularly fun game, but we should go see Colorado.
Yeah.
And then we're actually going to fly from Colorado to Iowa because on Sunday, the Iowa women's basketball team is trying to break the national record for highest attendance for a women's basketball game. And they're playing a game in the stadium, the football stadium.
Oh, nice.
So it's sold 50,000 tickets so far, which is really, really sick. And it'll be a cool historic event in women's sports, and anywhere Caitlin Clark is, that's where I want to be.
So what is the record for attendance?
It's like 29,000. So they've already beat it just with tickets sold.
That's amazing. That's going to be fun for you.
I'm really, really excited. It should be a super cool event. Nebraska did something similar a few weeks ago where they sold out a game in Memorial Stadium for the volleyball team.
Yep.
The Iowa wrestling team a couple years ago wrestled a match in the football stadium. It's been a super cool, just like kind of integration of, the football stadium and fans that maybe not will go to a women's basketball game. But I'm really, really excited. Caitlin Clark is must-see TV whenever she's on, and she's so cool. She's my best friend. I'm not her best friend, but I can't wait to see her.
So no Oregon, Washington for you because that's the game of the weekend, right?
Yeah, I would love to go to Oregon, Washington, but this is, history in women's sports. It's at Iowa. Yes. I definitely want to be there, but we will get back onto the big game of the college football weekend, hopefully next weekend.
That's a good job by you going to that game. That's fun. That's going to be fun. By the way, your Iowa Hawkeyes, I cannot believe I bet this game, but they covered for me.
Good for you.
I know.
Did you see so there was Iowa that in that game had 0 completed passes to wide receivers the entire game. 0 receptions.
That's Iowa football. I mean,
our quarterback finished 6 for 21.
Yeah.
You can count 7 if you count the interception with a QBR of 2.
Yeah, well, got the cover.
1-2.
Did enough.
And we won.
Yes. What were you going to say, Billy?
I do like that, and I thought that before that interceptions should count as completed passes because they are completed. They're just completed to the wrong team.
Iowa could use that to pad the numbers.
Yeah.
I think it's really big for us.
Never hit the ground.
Exactly right.
That makes Tua's game a whole lot better yesterday. I mean,
we can get to that later.
I tried to get to it in the first segment.
Well, there's deflected passes. Another one, he hit someone in the helmet with his hand. It didn't matter. We'll
get to Send Us Stuff and Lucy or Goosey coming up in the next segment.
Wow.
Did you, like everyone else, except for Mike Ryan, laugh at the University of Miami on Saturday nights?
That is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's crazy.
I was dead from the fair food. I couldn't move. I was resurrected.
It wasn't that funny. It wasn't that funny. It wasn't that funny. It wasn't that funny.
It was funny.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny.
No, it was more sad than funny. It was not.
I couldn't sleep after seeing it.
It was funny.
There wasn't a sad moment in there.
What do you
No,
mean?
wait, there was a sad moment when all 17 fans at the game started throwing trash onto the field. That was sad.
Oh, yeah, that's what we do. That's how we roll down here, okay? Why couldn't you sleep?
So my daughter was sick this weekend, so we were kind of tending to her, and then I was watching the end of the game on my phone, and I went away after they got a first down. I'm like, there's no way I can blow this. I'm like, wait, how did Georgia Tech get the ball back? This doesn't make any sense. And then I watched it, and then I just kept watching it over and over and over again, and I was like, surely they have to say something. I was looking for anything I could find. I'm like, none of this makes sense.
Lucy or Goosey coming up next.
Stugotz,
Yeah.
Lucy,
Yeah.
Mikey A.
Yeah.
We're like halfway through the show, and we still have a lot of things that we need to get to.
I know.
Do we have an edition of Lucy or Goosey today?
We do have Lucy or Goosey. We have Send Us Stuff. Mike Fuentes has dueling top 5 lists.
With himself.
With himself, right? He's dueling himself.
I have my Billy's Bets big board brought to you by to come later today.
I have 3 best wins, 3 worst losses. We got a lot. Jacksonville is one of the best wins. Just spoiler alert, they're one of the best wins. They beat Buffalo.
Why can't you just wait for the
I
segment?
said it in the opening segment. I did. I said it. We talked about that game. Sorry. I'm yelling at you.
Lucy's also at home today, so maybe she can show us something cool from her apartment. And Stugotz, and this isn't a game. This is just something that happened to me when I sat down today. I put on this jacket, and I had a surprise in my pocket that I'd like to show you guys if you would like it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just going to do that segment right now. It's called What's in Billy's Pocket that he found.
A surprise in Billy's pocket.
Yeah, ready?
Okay.
Oh, I love this segment.
Here we go. This is great.
Ready? So I just grabbed this jacket on the way out, and I put it on today and didn't know there was something in my pocket. And what do I have? To my surprise, 2 Snickers bars.
Wow. Mini Snickers.
I feel like I won the
Couple of
Powerball.
Snickers cutting it up.
Yep.
I mean, how about that?
Yep. I feel like I won the Powerball already today.
Storing candy in your jacket.
It's probably melted and not good anymore, but the smile it put on my face.
Trying to get a sponsorship?
No.
You should.
Halloween's right around the corner. Candy companies should come and just give us a bunch of candy, right?
Send us candy.
Santa's candy. Yeah. You know what? I think, I was going to say maybe BBBBBB today will be brought to you by Snickers, but I don't think I can just do that.
What segment was that?
Billy's Big Board Bet brought to you by, I'm trying to make things move quicker.
I got it with BBBBBBB.
Yeah.
I got it. You want to do Lucy or Goosey or Send Us Stuff? Which one would you like to do first?
We can do Lucy or Goosey today. Lucy, I have unfortunate news for you today. The stuff that we were sent, they didn't send you anything. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's rude.
But
Who did that?
I will tell you this: a good stranger, but I'll say a friend of the show now, reached out and said, "I want to send you something I'm making on my 3D printer for you and Lucy." And I said, "Okay, cool. Here's the address."
Wow.
So I have no idea what it is, but someone's making something on a 3D printer that they
Dangerous
want to send
game.
to us.
Dangerous game.
Wait, Lucy, so you're upset that someone sent us stuff, but they didn't send it to you. But the last couple of weeks, they've sent stuff only to you and not to me and Billy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so I've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Now you don't want to send me stuff?
You're
What have I
spoiled.
done wrong?
Exactly. It's a fair point.
Let's just do that now to get it out of the way. So this
Okay.
week, Stugotz and I were sent some BRUNT work boots.
Really?
Oh, I don't really want those that bad.
Well,
that's okay.
They're nice
Wait, let me
boots.
see them first.
Look at
Are they
these.
cute?
Yeah,
Oh,
look at
I
these.
got some.
Oh, I like those.
There you go. Oh, Mikey got some too.
Yes.
I
those
got
are
some.
men.
They're comfortable.
Shout out to BRUNT work boots.
That is nuts.
Yeah,
So they
thank
sent
you,
us stuff.
Yeah, they sent us some stuff.
Work
I
boots.
spilled my coffee.
I mean,
Those are nice, but they're for men. I get why they didn't send them to me.
Yeah.
I will put on my work boots when I'm not working.
There you go.
Yes.
All right, so Lucy or Goosey?
Those are nice boots, man.
They are. They're good boots.
Yep.
BRUNT work boots.
All right. Lucy or Goosey, you ready?
Yeah.
And you have to find something from your apartment. You have a weird apartment. It's nice. It's great, but there's just a lot of stuff in there, you know?
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff. It's a problem.
Okay.
Love stuff.
Okay. Here we go. Lucy or Goosey. The last 2 weeks, I've been saying that there is something off in Athens, Georgia. They fixed it this past weekend. So we will start right there. Georgia, Lucy or Goosey?
I'm going to go Lucy. Georgia did what they do, which is, all right, you've struggled against a team you weren't supposed to struggle against. Now you have a team that could be more challenging, and you're going to blow them out of the water. I love Mark Stoops. He's an Iowa guy, but Kentucky I still don't think is the barometer. We talked about Kentucky a little bit last week, where their best win was a Florida team that everyone knows I love Florida. Probably third favorite team right now. But because they sent me stuff, that those aren't like real measuring sticks for how good your season is. So when I look at Georgia, Kentucky right now, I think Georgia is probably the best team in the country. I don't think they're the most complete team in the country. I believe that's Michigan. Georgia has Mizzou coming up. That's a game that they could really struggle in. I think they're Lucy, because they're just infinitely more talented than everyone else, but they're still not as good as they were last year. But they did what they should have done against Kentucky.
Is that game at Missouri?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's in Athens.
Okay.
I'm not 100% positive on that though.
All right. Those are nice boots, man.
Yeah, these are yours.
Did I see when you opened up the box from Brunt? Did I see that it said those are nice? I'm serious. Those are really nice. Did it say this is not a shoe box? It's a toolbox?
Oh, did it say
Yeah,
that?
I think it says that on there.
The tools you wear. This is not a shoebox. It's a toolbox.
That game's at Georgia.
It very much does.
Check out
say
my
that.
tools. I mean,
There you go.
very
Oh, you got
exciting.
those are nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm psyched. That game's at Georgia. Georgia wins by 21 points. Missouri's a fraud. Oh, serious.
boy.
They lost at home to LSU
Goosey.
this week. Yeah, Goosey. I think this is the best team in the country, Lucy. So we'll go to them next. Michigan. They haven't played anyone. They're kind of flying under the radar there because they haven't played anyone. I'm not certain they play anyone until they play Ohio State. Lucy or Goosey on Michigan?
They're so loosey. It's tough because I do think Michigan's the best team in the country. I agree with you 100%. Their defense is phenomenal. They have a super well-rounded offense. J.J. McCarthy has absolutely been the answer there. They just literally won't schedule anyone ever. Their non-conference is so bad every year. It's embarrassing how bad it is. So we never get to see Michigan, and they're not going to face anybody till they play Penn State in a few weeks, which is a great test. Penn State is a good team. I think Michigan is a lot better, but it's tough because you can't really look at Michigan and say much because they haven't played anybody, but they really are, I truly believe, the best team in the country. They might find a way to still lose in the playoff because that's kind of been their thing, but they are the best team in the country right now.
Billy, you could argue that's a heady play, not playing anyone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Georgia's doing the same thing.
2 of their last 3 are at Penn State, as you mentioned. At Penn State, that's going to be a very difficult game. And they play Ohio State. So we'll find out what Michigan is all about coming up.
It works
here.
for Michigan. It wouldn't work for like TCU.
No, that's fair. But it works for Michigan, yes.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows Michigan's talented. Everyone knows they have those 2 games coming up, right? So
It's really what Notre Dame should do, honestly.
well,
Because Notre Dame is going to be in the top 10 no matter what. They might as well play no one and play like 3 real games, and then they'll get in the playoffs every year and then get exposed as the frauds that they are.
okay.
Lucy?
Jess is my best friend and only friend in Miami right now, so I'm going to navigate this quite lightly.
That's not fair. I mean, me
We're
and
not
Billy are
friends.
here. I mean,
I find that
We don't
very
hang out
hurtful,
outside
Lucy.
of work.
That's insulting.
what do you mean outside of work? Like,
My kids are sick. You
you
want to
think
come watch them?
you think you're my friend only when I'm inside the work walls here? Like,
Technically, you're outside of
We
work
don't
right
hang
now,
out
Lucy.
outside of it.
you can come up to my house whenever you'd like. I don't know.
We've
We'll
seen
hang
your
out.
apartment.
Okay, we'll hang out.
Okay. It's 3 counties away, my house, just so you know.
Okay, I'll do it. I don't have any friends
Awesome.
outside of you two and Jess.
Don't do it. Last time he had someone go up and meet him, it was to play golf, and then he was bored and he didn't want to play golf with this person and made the person play golf by themselves.
Listen, inside joke, okay? 5 people will get it. It was Charlie.
And it still happened.
It did happen. Lucy, next time you're in town, come up to the house, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. So you can have more than one friend than Jess. Oklahoma, Lucy or Goosey? You have to be Lucy after this weekend, right?
Yeah, after this weekend, I have to be Lucy. I think what's wild about this Oklahoma team is Lincoln Riley has been their head coach, which I'd love to talk about USC a little bit for the last, 6 years, whatever, before Brent Venables. This is the first time in 10 years I've watched Oklahoma and been like, that's a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's always been the missing key.
Yes.
That's always been it for Oklahoma. That's been the problem every single year, as is the problem with every single Lincoln Riley team, as we saw this weekend against Arizona. I think this is the best Oklahoma team I've seen in a while, just because they may not be the offensive powerhouse we're used to, but they are well-rounded. For some reason, Lincoln Riley has lived his entire life thinking that I'm just not going to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about defense. It'll figure itself out.
They have one.
You have to worry about it at some point, Lincoln.
Right, you do. The schedule, the rest of the way, very easy for Oklahoma. They have one, I guess, tricky game at Kansas, who's a decent team this year, but Oklahoma looking good for a playoff spot. You mentioned USC, so USC, Lucy or Goosey. Talk about USC. You want to talk about them? Talk about them.
Look,
Goosey, wow.
Lucy.
Wow, best player in the country.
times against Arizona.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I sound like a broken record because everyone says this about Lincoln Riley every single day for the past 6 years. The man just doesn't think about defense. Whatever he doesn't. Iowa gets a lot of shit. Okay, people love to talk about how Iowa doesn't play offense, and that's true. We don't do it. That's against our religion. But if you switched it, USC is the exact same. USC has one of the worst defenses I've ever seen, just in the terms of simple things like they don't know how to tackle. They've tackled each other. It is such a bad unit. And for some reason, Lincoln Riley still believes in his heart of hearts that he can coast on scoring a lot of points, which has worked. But something that Arizona did so well is if you watch the first half of that game, they completely controlled the time of possession. If you want to beat USC, that's a really simple way to do it. Just don't ever give them the ball. And it worked. USC got out of it with 3 overtimes. This is not a well-rounded, this is not a good football team. It is a great offense and then just a bunch of other guys.
I don't think you have to worry about you because you're right. The defense it's not good. But their schedule the rest of the way, I don't think they're a playoff team. They play Notre Dame, they play Utah, they play Washington, they play at Oregon, they play UCLA. They're going to lose somewhere along the way, right? Maybe twice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You're in the most difficult conference in college football right now, and you have completely ignored one entire side of football. It's going to come back and bite you, and it's going to be something that USC fans are just going to have to live with, because at Texas Oklahoma this weekend, I was talking to Oklahoma fans about it, and they were like, are you kidding? This is awesome. This is great. We're glad that we have somebody new who actually cares about that.
Mm-hmm.
Should have played no
I don't know
one.
why that makes me so angry, but it does.
Yeah, I understand.
The Iowa fan in me.
I get it. Should have played who?
They should have played no one. They'd be sitting pretty right now. They didn't play anyone.
do what Michigan does.
Yeah, exactly right.
Even
Like
with
Arizona.
No, they struggled against Arizona State too. They have been playing super close games. Even playing nobody, they're having a tough time.
Yeah, I asked Felica if you remember, Billy, and you don't. I don't expect you to. I said USC is going to go to the playoff this year, yes or no? And he said no because their defense is so bad. And he's right. Their defense is really bad. Lucy's right.
By the way, nerdy thing, Bear has got to be so happy that Stanford Steve is struggling so badly in college game day.
It's really bad.
Have been
It's
so
really
bad this year.
It doesn't even matter what Felica's record is.
Doesn't even matter.
He can be 0 for 20. It doesn't matter.
We asked him before if he wanted it to happen. He said no. And we're like, I don't know about that, Bear. And it is coming to fruition. And woof, it's not going well.
Do you know the record? And the fridge doesn't work for me. None of it works.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I love Stanford Steve, but
Mad at the fridge. Okay.
I mean, it doesn't work, right, Mike? I mean,
it's trying too hard.
yeah, it's trying.
It's trying too hard. A fridge with tall boys, a 4-pack of tall. No, trying too hard.
Magnets. All right. Louisville, Lucy or Goosey, quickly. Undefeated.
I went Goosey last weekend, but that was a good Notre Dame team right now.
Wow.
Jeff Tom's a prodigal son at Louisville, so I'd like to see them continue to win. He's at a school that can finally kind of take his offensive dreams to the next level. I'm going to go Lucy right now, but the ACC is pretty tough this year. But Louisville could cause some problems. They already have. They took Notre Dame out of the playoff.
All right. I know we got a break here, but did you find anything strange in your apartment?
Oh.
Yeah, of course. What? Okay. I have to move my computer a little. This is my flamingo candle warmer.
Oh,
wow.
Don't light your candles, warm them, and you can save them for longer. It still smells as good, and it's not bad for you. But it's so cute. It's a little flamingo. I love it.
It is cute.
Huh. Don't light your candles, warm them.
Yeah.
We have Mike Fuentes' top 5 list, dueling top 5s. He's dueling himself. Mm-hmm. We have Billy's Big Board Bet, sponsored by
Big Board brought to you.
That's a fine, sorry. And we have my biggest 3 wins of the weekend in the NFL and my worst 3 losses in the NFL. Normally, I do top 5 quarterbacks through week whatever. Mm-hmm. I switched it up a little bit this week.
Okay.
All right.
Why'd you do that?
I don't know. I just felt like it. I do have my top 5 quarterbacks. I mean, if we have enough time, we'll try to get to all of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go first, though?
Let's do the dueling top 5s, I think.
Okay. So, Mike Fuentes, what is your top 5s this week?
Well, the newest top 5 was inspired by Lucy's trip to the Red River Rivalry, and it's we were talking about it. Top 5 celebrities from Oklahoma, because I said there's not a lot of celebrities. Okay. And these are all non-sports. Well, they're non-athletes, is what I should say.
The non-athlete division.
Correct.
Okay.
We're going to go through these fast like I always do. So number 6, our first OLI, our only OLI, is Carrie Underwood.
Really?
Yeah.
From Oklahoma?
Wow.
She is, I think.
But didn't go to Oklahoma.
No, they didn't go. She's from Oklahoma. Like
these are
the state of Oklahoma.
These are just people from Oklahoma.
From Oklahoma.
Okay.
So there's a chance they may show up at the Red River Rivalry.
Got it. Okay.
Carrie Underwood, number 6.
All right.
Number 5, Olivia Munn. Aaron Rodgers' ex-girlfriend.
Yep. Thank you.
She's also an actress.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number
We know.
4,
Yeah.
comedian Bill Hader. Star of HBO's Barry.
All right.
Number 3, actor Brad Pitt.
Number 3, really?
Yeah, has some big guns ahead
There's
of him.
2 more famous people from Oklahoma than
Oh,
Brad
yeah.
Pitt.
Wow.
Number 2, the Texas, the
Well said.
exactly. Walker, Texas Ranger, Chuck Norris.
Okay,
Chuck
yeah.
Norris.
Yeah, big name.
What happened there?
That's conflicted. If he goes to that game,
Because he's the Walker, Texas Ranger.
yeah, but he's from Oklahoma.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad he wasn't there. I'd
Playing
be
both
confused.
sides.
He's a Lucy. You can just switch the hat, playing both sides. Yeah.
Got it.
And number 1,
Yeah.
our Lord on high, the king of all of this, Skip Bayless.
All right. Oh, wow. Number
Rough-
one over
rough-
Brad Pitt.
Rough night for Skip. Oof.
All right.
Is number 2 going to sit with you all day? Or
Oh, yeah, that was terrible. It was
Okay,
the
good.
absolute worst.
It's okay.
I'm so happy I'm not on camera.
Don't worry.
All right, so now you have another top 5.
Correct.
Because one's not enough on a Monday.
Yeah, let's see if I get through this one.
Okay.
Okay. Top 5 bad football decisions from the weekend.
Oh, wow. I like this one.
Okay.
2 OLIs.
Right.
Our first OLI, Shador Sanders taunting Arizona State student section when they needed a field goal to beat a 1-5 team.
Wait, what is this list?
Top 5 worst football decisions from the weekend. Yeah.
I was fine with that.
Yeah. It's OLI. That's it.
Yeah.
They're 1-5.
All right.
Yeah, so.
All right.
Number 6, the Panthers tanking for Caleb Williams when they already have Bryce Young. They're just a bad football team. There's nothing you can do about it.
Patriots doing the same. It
Exactly.
seems like, yes.
Yeah. Though when Belichick does it, it's brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, Brady Zappi's getting a lot of playing time this
Yeah,
year.
he-
Bailey's happy. Yeah.
Whatever.
Bailey.
The Zapper.
Brady should too.
He might.
Number 5, we're in the real list now, boys. The Atlanta Falcons continuing to win games.
Yeah. Really?
Desmond Ritter, gamer.
Yeah. But why are you getting mad at them for winning games?
Because it should be taken for Caleb Williams.
I know, but they're 3-2 in a bad division.
But they're not going to get the first round pick, and that's the only thing that matters.
All right.
First
Yeah.
overall, I should say.
Okay.
Number 4, a source close to Mac Jones saying he doesn't have enough weapons.
That was really funny. That was really funny.
This is a real the call is coming from inside the house situation right here.
I can't believe his agent said that. That was really funny.
Mac Jones with the mustache said that.
Right.
Yeah.
It was either the agent, Mr. or Mrs. Jones, right?
Exactly.
That's it. There's no one else.
Exactly.
Okay.
Number 3, Cristobal not kneeling with 36 seconds left.
Oh, it's the worst. There is 2 worse than that.
Number 3?
Yep.
Number 3?
Listen, just so people realize, Miami was one of those teams that people were talking about as sneaking into the playoffs.
No one was talking about that outside of this office.
Well, people
They were number 1 in the BCS.
They won't be this week.
All right, number 2.
Yes.
Cristobal deciding to run the ball when he could have just knelt with 36 seconds left.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little different, Billy, see, because he decided not to, but then he decided to run instead of just not doing it.
Got it.
Yeah. That's right. Number 1, UM not leaving Cristobal on the proverbial tarmac.
Well, they were home.
That's why it's proverbial and not actual.
Got it.
Thank you, Billy. That's my point is top 5.
You want him left on the tarmac, huh?
Yeah, just find the tarmac, get him there.
Drive him to a tarmac and leave him there.
Tell
Got
him he's
it.
fired and leave him there.
Okay.
Just wait for Dion.
Dion can pick him up on the way in.
When UM lost that game and they
Yeah.
tried to do the thing with their uniforms, which were strange uniforms, right? I think it was a little trying too hard with the uniforms. They had multiple colors of green on there, like the letters on the green didn't match the numbers green. It was like a weird situation, right? And I remember thinking this, almost midnight as I can't fall asleep after watching the replay over and over again. I think, man, they had so much cooler than this. Like this used to be like the used thing used to be like they were like the cool school, like, oh my God, they're so bad at blah, 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 whatever, right? And like it was cool to root for UM. And like Colorado is so much cooler than the University of Miami right now, and it's not even close.
Yes.
So like that's UM, that was their draw.
Right.
So what is it now? So
Sad.
they can't get rid of Cristobal. They have Cristobal. I think they signed him to like an 8-year deal.
They did.
Yeah, they're stuck with him. They
For a
can't
lot
get
of
rid
money.
of him. Yeah,
Yeah.
like $80 million or something.
They're stuck with
They
it.
can't just eat that.
They're not going to eat that.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not good for them.
No, it's certainly not good for them.
Yeah.
Cristobal, tarmac, get him there.
They go to
Okay.
Carolina this weekend, too. Carolina's pretty good.
Bounce back game for them though, potentially.
Maybe.
I mean, that's a ranked team that they could beat.
You're right.
Yeah.
It is. You have them beating them? Maybe. They could win that game.
Maybe.
They could. You want to go Billy's big board here, or you want to go top 3 wins from the weekend,
We could
top
do
3
that.
losses?
We could do Billy's Bets Big Boards brought to you by.
Okay.
Last week I was 1-2, but don't worry about that. We're going to get back on track today. Here's the thing about the 1-2 record. It's not indicative of the quality of the bets that were picked. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Sure. They were good bets. And again,
quality bets.
Again, I just like to say this. I'm not in a sports betting state. These are bets that if I were, I may feel so inclined to place.
Right.
But I'm not.
You're not.
And these were quality bets that should have happened. We don't need to get into Kenneth Walker, over 80.5 rushing yards plus receiving yards. He had 83 and then had a negative 4-yard run and then lost that bet. We don't need to talk about that. Graham Gano, over 1.5 field goals. Should have been an easy thing, but Brian Dable last week on Monday decided he was just going to go for it on every fourth down. And
you would have hit that yesterday, man, with Gano.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Gano. It made me feel so much worse when I saw how many field goals he was kicking yesterday. But this is a bounce back week. Don't let the 4-7-1 overall record throw you for a loop. Okay. We're coming back.
What's the record?
4-7-1 at the moment.
I will not let that throw me for a loop.
Don't let it throw you for a loop. I'm telling you.
Yes.
This is the week that we're bouncing back. These are all quality picks that, again, if I lived in a sports gambling state, I would feel possibly inclined to make, but I don't.
You'd also be 4-7-1 if you did.
But there's factors there. Aaron Rodgers, the injury, it's a whole thing. Anyways, we're wasting a lot of time. So, number one.
That's what we do.
Yes. Oh, now you can see the back of my board. Is Packers -2.
Wow.
Yeah. Packers -2 tonight.
Okay, so Packers at Raiders. Mike Golick on the call, by the way, on Westwood One.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
A friend of God Bless Football here. I don't know how I remember that on a Monday afternoon, but I did.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have the Packers. They're at the Raiders. Raiders get Jimmy G back. You're still taking the Packers.
I am. I'm taking the Packers +2. I mean, they could still lose the game, but they're not going to lose by more than 2 points.
You're right.
At least not what I'm thinking.
Revenge game for Devontae Adams. Just so you know, if he plays. Right.
Okay, if he plays.
Mm-hmm. We'll
all right. My next one that I'm going to go with, Dontavion Wicks, over 4.5 receiving yards.
Who is that? Mike Fuentes has been here. Mikey A, you're not here with us in studio. He has been blurting out the last name Wicks for like an hour. Yeah. I don't even know who he is, Wicks.
Well, here's the thing.
Wickster.
He's been a little hit or miss this season. So week 1, he had 2 targets, 0 receptions, 0 yards, obviously. Week 2, 4 targets, 2 receptions, 40 yards. Week 3, 6 targets, 4 receptions, 45 yards. Week 4, 1 target, 0 receptions, 0 yards. So if he catches the ball, he will surpass the 4.5.
Got it.
Now, I'm not sure why he only had 1 target last week. Not great, but I feel like this is going to be a big bounce back week for Dontavion Wicks.
You feel like the Wicks of 2 weeks ago is the real Wicks.
The Wicks from 2 and 3 weeks ago is the real Wicks. Last week was not, what we thought he was.
Got it.
Yeah.
What do you got, Mikey?
I'm just wondering if that has anything to do with Christian Watson coming back. Maybe that's why he.
Well, listen, he's going to have a catch. I'm telling you right now. Don't worry about that.
How many catches does he need to have?
He just needs 4.5 yards. So
4.5
catch.
yards?
Yeah, he just needs 4. He just needs 1 reception of 5 yards, and we're good.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that
and then not
happens.
catch a ball and get driven back 2 yards.
Okay.
Well, let's hope that doesn't repeat. All right. So the final one for the week. Raiders under 23.5 points. This year they've scored 17 points, 10 points, 18 points, and 17 points. I do not think that this is the week that they're going to score 24 points, but we'll see.
All right. So 4-7-1 if he was in a gambling state, but he's not.
But
so,
I'm not.
Right. 0-0.
I'm worried about Wicks now. I don't know why I made that one. We'll see. But gang, everyone listening to this and watching at home, if Dontavion Wicks makes a catch, I know that we're all going to remember this moment together.
Yes.
We're going to feel it together.
I'm going to call you. You won't answer, but I'm going to call you regardless.
I can't wait.
All right. Biggest 3 wins from the weekend?
Let's do it.
In the NFL?
Sure.
All right. Number 1, spoiler alert, Jags over the Bills. That was a big win for Jacksonville because it tells Jacksonville and their fan base.
You have 30 seconds.
In London that they are a team to be reckoned with in the AFC. They're as good as anyone in the AFC. They can beat anyone on any given Sunday. That was a good win for the Jags. Biggest win number 2 of the weekend, 49ers over the Cowboys. They didn't just win that game. They dismantled the Cowboys.
I told you they were frauds.
Yep.
So the Cowboys are frauds.
You did. That was a statement from the 49ers that I can tell you right now. The NFC Championship game is going to be the Eagles and 49ers unless, and only one team can get in the way, and that team is the Detroit Lions. How about that? Mike said I can go long here. The biggest win from the weekend, the Bengals over the Cardinals. Big win. Joe Burrow's back.
Yeah.
The Bengals look good. Jamar Chase was right. He's always open. Worst 3 losses quickly. Ravens. They lose to the Steelers. Lamar Jackson, you're making your money now. You got to win that game. Cowboys, their loss to the 49ers.
That was not Lamar Jackson's fault. They dropped a billion balls that were wide open.
He's the quarterback. Okay. And the Patriots. I mean, that is the worst. That's the most embarrassing loss of Bill Belichick's career.
No,
easily.
it was the second.
In back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the second most embarrassing loss?
Yeah.
Because last week was the first embarrassing.
You're right. Next week, top 5 most embarrassing losses for Bill Belichick.